So here's a pretty cool website where you're going to be able to use algebra tiles to help solve equations. So I'm just going to help you get familiar with using this website. And again, this is the website mathbot.com/manipulative/tiles. So one thing to be familiar with is if you were to click on any of these squares, I can drag it onto the board here and it'll make a new copy of each one. So I'm just going to click and drag on all the tiles that we have here. So we have an x squared tile, an x, a positive one, and a negative one chip. If you were to hit the tidy button at the very top, you'll see that it's going to clear the screen and reset it. Another feature is if you go to the top, you hit the delete button. So if I want to delete, let's say the blue x squared, I'll click on it, make sure it's highlighted, then I hit the delete button and it'll delete that one square. The other thing I can do is click on a square, click the flip button at the top, and you'll see that it flips from a positive square to a negative square. And that's true for the other ones. I have a positive x, I flip it, I make it into a negative x. Or you could also just click and drag the negative x if you want to use that instead. But for all of the tiles, you could just click them and automatically it will flip them and then give you the opposite value. Let's say you have to represent an equation and you need multiple ones. Let's say you need at least 10 of them. Well, it might be a little annoying to click and drag on each one 10 times. There's a faster way. And the way you can do that is by going to the very top button here. And let's say I wanted to duplicate a 1. I'm going to hit the right arrow key and you'll see it's going to add a 1 to the right. If I hit the down arrow, it will open up another one below it. So it's a fast way to add ones or any of the tiles. So if I go to x squared and hit the arrow again, you'll see that it just keeps adding more. And you'll see that I can actually flip any of the ones that I want to that I just added. If I wanted to change some of these, and even more than one, I can highlight. So in this case, I'm going to highlight 4 ones. And if I click on flip, it'll just change those to negative ones. So you can essentially group whatever you want to flip. So just highlight everything. You'll see that little dashed line. Highlight around everything you want to flip around, and it'll flip it for you. Another feature is something called at the top zero pair. So if you have something that's opposites, I can select them, highlight it, the 2 pair. These are opposites, which makes a 0 pair. And when I click on 0 pair, it'll delete. That's one way to do that. The other way you can do it is by essentially just putting one on top of the other. And again, opposites will cancel each other out. They'll disappear because the value is 0 when you put them together. So look, if I click, let go, it disappears. Same thing if I have a positive x, and if I make the other one negative, if I put these together, they disappear because, again, 0 pairs cancel each other out. And you might notice that if you try to put these together to cancel out, it won't cancel out. So what you need to do is click on the rotate button at the top. And then once they have the same orientation, put them together, you'll see they delete.